I'm on this job here today. I was here a little bit the other day taking down a bunch of trees with my excavator, but the plan is to there's a slab here, and there used to be a trailer, and that's gone, and the plan is to bring a double wide house in here. So pretty much this slab needs to get, I think it's 14 feet bigger on this uphill side here. So when I was here with my machine, I started digging, but it's not easy digging. All you get is a bunch of boulders that are all stuck together and hard rock. So I didn't even have time because I'm on another job right now. So this guy, he rented this machine with there's a hammer over there, and so right now we're digging as much as we can, and then we're gonna put the hammer on, and hopefully some of this stuff will break up. But you know, it's pretty strong rock in here, you know, so this is this guy's first time running a machine. I think he ran it a little bit yesterday, but it's not easy digging here, you know. It's like you hit all these rocks and then the machine gets stuck. See, I think he's on one right there. I'll see if he can pull that out. There he goes. So, he's doing an alright job operating the thing. It's just this is a frustrating spot to dig. You know, you're kind of prying these boulders off of each other, and you know, then they're stuck in. I mean, you're getting nice. I pulled a few rocks out of here that were like nice, perfect squares. You know, so if you wanted to build something cool like a retaining wall or stairs or, you know, a bunch of things, you got them. Okay, and also while I'm here, there's some trees we wanted to do. So this tree here, we want to get this down. It's a big dead ash tree, and it's leaning pretty heavily towards these power lines. So, you know, that's not exactly an easy job getting that down safely. But I think we'll be able to use that machine, and I got a long cable, and we'll pull it from way up on top of that hill while someone cuts it. But let's get some of this dirt taken care of now. Alright, so we were digging in that hard rock there, but really this isn't a job for a hammer. This is a job for a giant excavator, because what we have here is these these huge boulders that are in the ground, and they're not like attached to each other, but they're like tight against each other, and like you gotta kind of pry between them, and they wiggle around and stuff, but actually getting them out of the ground is really difficult. So we were prying between them, and what happened, we just ripped this bucket apart on this 50. So we got a hammer over there too to hammer with, but I don't think it's the right job, the right machine. Really we need like a huge excavator here, like a 150 or something enormous that can just pull these rocks out of the ground. So I don't even know if this bucket was maybe already cracked the way. Look at how just the bottom of the look at how just the bottom of the brake is clean metal, and the top looks to me like corroded already, or so that may have already been cracked. But needless to say, it's Sunday and we're kind of done working right now, at least digging at least. So I think what we'll do while we're here is I'll pull that one giant tree down. Alright, so we're gonna pull this big tree down. Alright, so this guy with that rental was able to get some work done, but I think his plan now is to pour on top of this entire slab. But the slab is supposed to get bigger. I think he said like 8 feet or 10 feet that way. And there's still rocks here. So there's a few he said he got loose wiggling, but he wasn't able to dig them out. So I'm going to try with my machine. I'm assuming it's some of these in here. So let's see what I can do. he needed a little more space in that one back corner, and I couldn't move any of those rocks. So what he ended up doing was hiring this guy to come in with a hammer and a big excavator, which this is what he should have just done from the start. But you see the size of these rocks. I mean, there's no way I would have gotten them with the smaller machine. And the price he got from these guys was actually really good. I think he said he paid these guys $2,000 to be there a short day to take care of that. But you know, that wasn't a bad price at all, I didn't think. So that I wish I was there filming this day, because that probably would have been interesting. But this is the photo he sent me. It's been a couple weeks since I was here, and they finally got this concrete slab poured. So now they're ready to put the double wide trailer on this. I guess he probably could have used a little help finishing this concrete, because it's, I know everyone always gives me a hard time on YouTube how I finish them. I don't know, mine usually look a lot better than this one, but for what he's doing with it, this will be fine. Alright, a few jobs ago I had one of my teeth break off my bucket, so I finally got my welder near it to fix it. So let me weld a new tooth on there. Alright, so I've got a new tooth right here to go on here, but usually when I put these teeth on, they're supposed to be held on with like a pin that goes in this hole right here, but I've never had luck with those. Usually every time I use them, the teeth are missing pretty quick, so what I always do is just weld the teeth on and then they stay. In this case, I was doing something, I was trying to pry some rocks apart that I shouldn't have been, and there was another excavator on site too where the whole bucket broke in half. So we ended up finishing that job. We had to get some huge machines in there, but so let me fix this tooth. So some of the old tooth is still stuck on here, so I got to cut this off and cut this down to get that new tooth to fit over there. Alright, so let me get started. Alright, that's good. That's all fixed. It kind of makes me want to change all of them because that one's a little bit longer because the other ones are old. But, you know, the other ones still aren't that bad, and they'll even themselves out. So next time I mess with the teeth on this, though, I'll probably just change all of them. So I gotta say, every time I post a video of me welding something, I always have some people on YouTube saying, I don't know what I'm doing. Look, I weld stuff together literally all the time and constantly put it back into use. And it's extremely rare that I have to revisit something and re-weld it. I mean, it's happened before, but so rarely. Here, and let me go show you something I welded a year ago. Alright, so on my dozer blade here, I welded this about a year ago. What had happened was this, and this is a thing I did actually end up revisiting, but first I welded it, and this thing ripped out of here first. And I welded it back in, and then it ripped off again, but it didn't just break there. This whole plate ripped off. So, I mean, does that count as being revisited? Kinda, sorta, not really, but since I welded it this time, look, this thing, it's still in good shape. Actually, I see it could probably use a drop of weld right there, but, you know, that's not terrible. But, you know, this is the stuff I did, and you can see that's still fine. And this is fine in here, too. I built this back up with the welder, and I welded this thing back in. So, and here's another thing I made this roll cage on this dozer, and that's been very helpful, because when you do tree work, you gotta have that, because otherwise trees are falling on it and smashing this air filter, and with that on there, it's so much easier. So I'll put a link in the description for where to buy a mobile welder like this. I mean, this one's good if you don't have power nearby, because it's got its own motor. So that's nice. But if you have electric, well, if you have 220 volts, you know, you're better off getting like an AC 225, or if you want to spend a little more money, get a DC welder. That'd be a little bit better. Alright, well, I had the welder out. Figured it made sense to just weld that, so. Alright, I'm back here today. It's been a couple months since I've been here, and they got the house is now set on the slab, so that's good, and it's got electric. And what I'm here to do is get water to this house. So the water line that was here was bad, and there is a well, so my goal is to dig a trench from the well that's right in front of my machine there up to the house.
drill from the top, right?
Well,
here?
you should dig in, you know,
a little bit, as far as I can.
Dig in as far as you can here, and then, I mean, as long as you make it in a few feet and drill down, and then maybe throw a little insulation and heat tape, you should never have an issue.
Okay.
All right, cool. I'm gonna keep working this way. Alright, I just finished digging this trench, so that went pretty well. I was worried that I'd be hitting rock that I couldn't dig through. I did pull quite a few big boulders out of the ground, but luckily, you know, they weren't all keyed into each other like they were up on the hill here. So I was able to get the required 4 feet pretty much everywhere. So, alright, so the plan is here. We'll dig a little bit more underneath this concrete by hand, and then hopefully we'll be able to get in, you know, at least 4 feet and hammer a hole through for the pipe. That way it won't freeze. And so there was a little bit of a rock right here, but you know, I could probably get that out if I dug a hole all around the whole thing. But you know, the trench, it's still 3.5 plus feet deep there, so that'll be fine. I've seen water pipes much less than 4 feet in places, and the people say they don't freeze. So alright, so here's up to the well. So what I'll do here, gotta clean a little more of this off right here, and then the pitless adapter can go in, and then the new pump can be dropped down in here.